Okay, we're rolling. Check one, two, one, two. Awesome. Man, Cam, thank you again so much. I was saying earlier, but thank you so much for hopping on this call and just being able to spend a little bit of time with us. I know I firmly just believe that each and every one of us have an incredible story to share. And man, we've been going through some things this year, and I think that there's a lot of things that we can learn from one another's stories. So just wanted to thank you again for hopping on with us. But for the people at Texas State, they're probably familiar with us, but everyone else around the region that's tuned in, why don't you share just a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? What are you studying? And a little bit about your sport, maybe.
I'm sorry, you kind of dropped out a little bit. I didn't hear the first part of the question.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, maybe share a little bit about yourself for everyone else that's tuning in, where you're from, what you're studying.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what AIA has to bring or for the fall retreat. This is my first year, so I'm excited.
nice.
Nick is throwing out on the barbecue, so ready for the real.
Hey,
Uh, so for me, well, first off, my name is Cameron Stewart. I'm here from I throw at Texas State University through shot put, discus, hammer,
nice.
weight throw, all of that. Um, I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, Lancaster side for those who are kind of like, oh, what part? But I'm from.
Yeah,
I went to Red Oak High School, and I kind of got started in throwing like through my family. They were big in throwing. They their name kind of hold weight. So like just seeing this, I can give it a shot. Not necessarily
yeah,
just want to follow in their footsteps, but just kind of want to create a legacy for my own. Just
absolutely.
off of the groundwork that they laid for me, I was like, it's not an impossible task.
Yeah,
So but that's how I kind of got started with everything.
awesome. Nice. Well, so you've been at Texas State. What year are you?
This will be my junior year.
Junior year, awesome. So third year in, everything's been going well so far.
So far, yes, classes,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm studying exercise sports science. So
Okay, nice.
I'm kind of in
Very
that
cool.
that phase of like really getting into my major classes. So like every
Yeah,
broken down.
getting
So
into the good stuff. So
yeah.
I'm curious. I love asking this question because I feel like everyone has like a unique story in different way, but how did you get connected to Athletes in Action?
We have this little thing called Bobcat Talks, and
Hmm.
Carl, who works with Nick, he came and gave a presentation actually about money and like budgeting and stuff like that. And then he brought up if you want to get connected with AIA, just leave your name and your number, and then we'll text you or call you later. And
Yeah,
so um, after that, me and Carl stayed in connection, and then he connected me with Nick, and we all sat down and we talked, and then Nick started discipling me around February,
hmm
February 2019 before COVID happened. But
and
yeah, that's how I kind of got linked in, and ever since then, it's just been smooth rolling, smooth sailing.
yeah, dude, I love that. Is there anything in particular that stood out to you over the course of the last year? Just you and Nick's discipleship relationship?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. Has there been anything that has stood out to you just in your and Nick's discipleship relationship? Like, what are learning some new things?
Yeah, like being able to like really share the gospel.
Yeah,
Tell them like, oh, God will do miracle things, not just sharing the prosperity side of it, but like sharing both sides of the coin, not just
yeah,
leading people to think that God will just do all these things for you without going through any struggles when that is not the case at all.
yeah. No, yeah. And speaking of struggles, like I feel like everyone has been going through a lot of crazy hardships in this last year with COVID. So, how I'm curious to hear how, in particular, have you seen God move in your life in 2020?
So in 2020, it was a dark time because I was training so hard. I was ready to like really put up some big numbers, and then we
Yeah.
all got shut down, and it
Yeah.
just like everything just came to a screeching halt. Um, so it was rough because us being athletes, we're used to having like what happens to our season or what happens to in our throw or sport literally like falls within our hands, or we're used to having like control of the fate. Uh,
Yeah.
but when COVID happened and God pretty much told everybody, all right, sit down, nothing's gonna happen in this. It was rough because it wasn't me in control, and I was so
Yeah.
used to control of like of everything that I did that now it was like you have to sit back and let God take care of this. Um,
Man.
and and then like I had
Oh,
issues, and so like I didn't have the knowledge to help with that. Even some of the top doctors didn't even know how to help. Only thing
yeah.
you can do is pray and send your best wishes. So it was rough, and then dealing with like family hardships. It was a lot of things that shook up my family, like my immediate family. So
Yeah.
it was learning how to like just maneuver and not let it drag you down, not let the hard losses like drag you down and let those define you.
Yeah.
Um, and finally, just happened a couple weeks ago, but my events coach, my throws coach, he told us that he was leaving. Well, he's gone now, but he told us that he was leaving, and it
Wow.
was because it was like I built a great relationship with him. Like me and him, we were talking about going to the Olympics, not just
Mm.
the mediocre or the small goals. Like I was shooting, I was shooting.
Oh, I think we lost you for a
And
second. There
the
you go.
well, I'm leaving, so
Yeah.
it's just rough to deal with. So like that was a point where I really just like let the reins go. I couldn't hold on to it because the horses were running too fast.
Yeah. What else can you do?
So I didn't want to run myself into a wall. So I just let God carry me through it all. And so far, it's been, even though it's been one of the roughest years, it's been one of the greatest experiences I've ever been through because
Wow.
I've like matured not only as an athlete, but I feel as a man. Not only just in like my faith of like sharing it with other believers, but going out to like my teammates and inviting them to this event
Yeah.
or inviting them to my home so we can talk about the gospel and just building those relationships, not just within the sport, but also like outside of our sport, outside of the track.
Yeah. Absolutely. Man, I love that what you're sharing about just letting go of that control because we get to a point where we finally realize that there are things that are outside of our control. And the more we try to hold on and grip to that, man, it's impossible. It drains us. It takes everything out of us. But turning and putting our faith in God and letting Him handle those situations, it really allows us to do like exactly what you mentioned, to just be able to learn and still be able to grow and process. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Last question for other athletes that are walking in your same shoes and they're experiencing struggles this year, what encouragement would you offer them?
Remember that this doesn't define you. Like your sport doesn't define you. What happened, like, what people will
Yeah.
say doesn't define you. It's your faith that defines you. Like your heavenly Father created you for a reason.
Yeah.
Remember that. Remember whatever that reason is. Try to find it. Hold on to that reason, and always try to fight for it, and always try to, find a way to make that reason possible each and every day, even if it's find yourself of the reason why you're here. Don't just
Yeah.
think my sport defines me or what I do today defines me or what she said about me defines me. It's how can you work with your gift that God gave you, whether that be mentally, intellectually, athletically, spiritually, whatever you can do to make yourself or make your dream or your purpose work for you at the full potential, do that every single day.
Man.
All day, and your life will be it won't be hard. I will say that. It won't be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cam, thank you so much for hopping on here with you, man. I appreciate you. I'm encouraged just by the conversation that we've had. And yeah, thanks for joining us. We have so much more coming up in a second. So you guys stay tuned. Cam, again, catch you later, man. Thank
Thank you. Thank you.